Assalamu alaikum
Walaikum
wa
wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Halal Boys are back after a week off.
A week off?
Well, you see, it's a week off, but we actually did film a podcast. We filmed
We
two,
filmed 2 podcasts.
but Alta have deleted all of the footage.
Yeah,
So-
let's blame it on Alta.
Yeah, before we get into it, we would just like to say Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak to
From-
all our Muslim brethren,
Yes.
and our non-Muslim
Ah,
brethren.
no,
Just
exactly.
Eid Mubarak,
Eid Mubarak in general. Just,
Mubarak in general.
before we get into all of the meat and two veg, I'm going to say it. All my social media platforms will be in the description, so will his. And
We're still working on the OnlyFans, so please give us time, you naughty, naughty horn dogs. We will see to your desires soon enough. But until then, brother, as you were about to say,
I actually didn't know where I was going to go with it. I was actually going to ask you, how have you been?
well, as Eid was this past Saturday. It was quite a lovely day, a day full of feasting, a day of family, a lot of love, a lot of good vibes, man. The weather wasn't so good, but I loved overcast, cloudy, wet weather, to be honest. It cultivates immaculate home vibes.
Yeah.
Again, food was buzzing, so quite a lovely day. And for you, brother, man?
I'll be honest. My Eid has not been great.
But you saw me, so I don't understand. You must be lying to the viewers at home, because it's always a great day when you get to see your boy.
No. Look, that part of it was fun and all that. I mean, look, it ended on a good note. But
Ended quite chill, yeah.
but the bulk of the day was just, no, I just wasn't feeling it.
And why is that, brother? I mean, for those of you who don't know, Brother Rajesh is quite a popular man with the ladies. He's always getting copious amounts of,
Oh my goodness.
Eid Mubarak messages from his multiple succubi. So, again, good food, attention from the woman. How is that not a good day, brother?
Look, it's funny you say that. It's because I didn't get attention from a certain woman. And yeah, I just did a little bit of a retrospective thing. I looked back at last Eid, and last Eid, I was glued to my phone, and because I was too busy speaking to a certain someone. And
But is that any way to truly spend the day? You gotta live in the moment. You gotta enjoy the food now. While it's all piping hot and juicy and tender. I mean,
I hear you.
Come
I'm
on, you
with
gotta
you.
get into it.
I'm with you, but I don't know, man. I felt good last Eid, Like, look, man. It's one of those. It's one of these things. I'm usually not the type of person to be this way inclined. In fact, I'm not. Look, okay, I'll just say this now. I think I would not expect the person I'm speaking about to be watching this, because we just haven't spoken in forever, almost a year. Yeah, but this time last year I was speaking to someone. And look, man, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but for some reason I am hung up on this person.
Wow. What has it been, a year later, essentially?
Yes,
A
it's
year
been a-
later, folks, and man, he's still whooped.
No, look,
he's still
I
whooped.
wouldn't even say it's.
He's whooped worse than Lupita Nyong'o in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh my goodness.
Man's is whooped.
No, it's not. It's not even. I can't explain what it is, man. I just can't explain it. Look, I think for the most part, well, at least I close myself off to a lot, right? Because I think because to me, if I wanna make waves in the space that I'm in, I have to devote 100% of myself to this, because I see a lot of people in my space who who maybe I shouldn't say who didn't give. I mean, they look. Everybody in my space is hardworking to to be able to get to be able to reach certain levels or to reach certain milestones. It's hard work. It's hard work, right? Um, but to me, I kind of saw that I kind of took it that it's going to be my duty to almost marry myself to my work, right? So for the most part, I keep myself closed off to a lot. I keep myself closed off to a lot of people. I keep myself closed off to a lot of situations. Um, but on that night, I couldn't. And this isn't. Look, the thing is, there's been other people who have behaved.
No, they were not her, nor were they capable of obviously doing what she did.
No, no, but
I mean, otherwise you still wouldn't be this whooped.
no. But there are people that have behaved the same way that she did.
It's not about behaving the same
No,
way. It's
listen.
about doing.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. There were some people that did the exact same thing, and I am completely not just look. Um, it's very funny because like I was laying in bed the night before.
Probably wanked off, you know.
The night before it
You
was
know, as
still,
a good boy Hamza likes to say, you know. What is he like
I
to say?
literally used to fop like
I
five
used to
times
fop
a day.
like five
I
times a day.
literally used to fop
Yeah,
like
you know,
five
man's
times a
obviously
day.
just had a very stressful day. You know, and if Matthew McConaughey has taught us anything, you know, you need to pump up those numbers in stressful environments, you know.
Absolutely. But
So continue.
where I was going with this was I was laying in bed and I was scrolling through TikTok as anybody would, and I came across this freaking Red Bull guy. Obviously, like the Red Bull always come clutch when you
When you're
know
having woman troubles.
exactly. And always like the Andrew Tate video pops up when you're having women.
It's whether the FBI agent we see you, you know,
Exactly.
he's picking up that, you know, you're a depressed little bag at that point.
Yeah.
It's a nice way for you to at least churn those sad, depressive
Yeah.
emotions into something potentially a bit more powerful, um, a bit more useful.
Yeah.
You know, transmute that into some nice chill motivation. It's always a good cause.
Exactly. But basically, I can't remember who the guy was, so I'm not going to credit him or anything. But basically, he spoke about, yeah, you know, if you must go to a girl and tell a girl, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up, they're going to think you're pathetic, so don't do that. It's very funny. Look, I call out hypocrisy on the Red Bull almost every week, and I'm going to do that again.
It's essentially your favorite pastime at this point.
Exactly. But I find it very funny that, you know, with the Red Bull, they teach you about men's accountability, right? They teach you to be accountable. They teach you to be accountable for your actions. So I'm going to actually take all the Red Bull's advice and I'm actually going to be accountable. Listen, my dear, if you are watching this, which you're probably not, I know I messed it up.
Oh, did you guys hear? You know, before man started pouring his soul, did you hear that?
I know.
Dryness in the back of the
Look,
throat, you know.
look.
I mean, it's tugging at the heartstrings. It's getting
I know.
real in the man cave,
I
in
know.
the den of raw steel and extreme sex appeal. So, I hope you are watching.
Look, I know I messed up 110%. And I didn't mess up in a way that most people do, right? I messed up in the worst way possible. Look, what I can say and what I will say is, and again, this is still to you if you're watching. She's not watching, but you know, hopefully at some stage does find her. And look, this is not a ploy for me to try and rekindle anything. I've accepted what the situation is, and I've moved. Well, I'm not looking for that again, right? What I will say is, I am very certain about my choices, okay? And I stand by it 110%. And sometimes I know it can scare people off. So to you, I am sorry, okay? But there is silver linings in my black clouds. there is a silver lining.
And that is,
I know I did everything I could.
I don't think you did.
I no,
No, because I mean,
dude,
I don't think you did, because I mean, you wouldn't be apologizing the way you did. I mean, why would you feel the need
this
to?
this is the final step.
Look, guys,
I
I'm sorry.
know-
Allow my beautiful co-host over here to just vent. Normally he's not a very emotional individual. He's quite stoic. Think Kratos. From the God of War series. Later on. He's not a maniacal killing machine. No. He's a very good stoic-like father figure. And in that, allow mans to just air himself out a bit. Feel himself.
Because I did reach out to this person afterwards.
Ooh.
And I didn't get a response. So look, at the end of the day,
Yeah, I definitely did all you could.
I did all I could. And you know what? I'm not going to be embarrassed, nor am I going to be ashamed about it. The thing was, again, if you're watching, I was genuinely excited and I was very certain. And you weren't, and that's okay. We can now tie up this whole thing after a year of me still being hung up on it, even though I kept on trying to avoid it. I can now tie this thing up and I can put it in the water and watch it go by.
And go full brave, take the bow and arrow at awesome made, flame arrow, the shards, whoosh,
Yeah.
burn it.
Yes.
Burn it.
Look, I can now do that. Look, the other thing is I didn't realize just how much that situation was. Look, the thing is, granted, I'm gonna be Red Bull. I'm gonna take accountability. This was my actions. This was my reaction to certain things were happening, but it took a huge toll on me.
Does this? Sorry, ma, I have to interrupt you there, my beautiful, beautiful brother. But does this not sound familiar? It's my fault. It's my fault. I thought.
Oh yeah. No, but can you hear how much more calm I am?
Look, obviously you've put a lot more thought behind it. You are not just gonna have an emotional outburst like said individual we're making fun of. You're a lot more methodical in the sense, and you've had a lot more time to sit and process things. So I'll give you that.
But I did miss with my work a little bit. I don't know if people were able to see it. I don't know if people were able to spot it. If not, then kudos to me for being able to keep it under wraps for a very long time. But I did mess up a lot of things where there were certain times and certain moments where I should have been taking certain things a lot more seriously, but obviously my head was not there. My head was not in that place to do that whatsoever. So now I can look at myself in the mirror and I can be proud of myself because for once in my life I was actually vulnerable. I said what I had to, and I did everything I could. After messing it up, of course. Right?
Yeah, he wouldn't be a United supporter if he didn't mess things up for himself. Shout out Harith Maguire. Shout out.
We'll get there. But I did everything I could at this point. So there's nothing left for me now. Look, the next phase is look, granted we've been doing the podcast for about a month now. But look, it's now for me to revert back to the person I was beginning of last year, which was literally just the person who gets, who's drowning in his own work. I'd love to be that guy again.
Let's word it a bit different. Instead of saying revert, why not grow? Why not, instead of reverting back to a version of yourself you think ideal, why not grow to an even better self? Because I think we both know that, like you said, this experience for you has been quite touchy. So take the experience, understand the fact that you've had it. It was fun while it lasted, and you grow from it. It doesn't mean you need to now go back to what you once
No,
were,
the reason why
especially when you can be so much more.
the reason
You
why I
know,
say revert is because I know for a given fact that I'm not the dude who I was at the beginning of last year. I'm not the dude who I was this time last year. 29th? Yeah, 29th of April. This time last year, I was not the same person. I'm not the same person that I was back then.
and
Right?
that's fine. That just means life has thrown you
Um,
curveballs that you've had to adapt to. It is what it is. You wouldn't be going out there and engaging in your life as you should be if you weren't experiencing, these types of changes.
look, I suppose you're right. I suppose you're right. But look, the reason why I said revert was because I felt like,
He's becoming a Buddhist. The Dalai Lama has really showed him his truest desires.
yeah, because I would have Frenched him.
He's reverting boys and girls.
No, but what I was gonna say was I can't say I'm growing from that because I feel I know what I was going through before last year. I know what I was going through at the end of my time working at Stodels, and I remember going from that going into joining Conquerors and playing with him. I thought that I've gone through that emotional growth, right? And then, this thing happens, and all of a sudden, I just took like a bajillion steps back. So it's not growing. It's not growing. It's literally falling down a hill that you were once on top of.
But you know what? I suppose and you need to maybe reframe your perspective on growth, because growth doesn't just have to be linear. I mean, in whichever direction you're going, as long as you're going further in some direction.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, maybe, but coming back to the original point, that put a huge damper on my Eid. I don't even know why. It's not, guys. It's not that deep. It's never that deep.
It's not that deep, hey?
No,
we've made an entire segment essentially out of it, but it's not that
no,
deep.
because it's not. Look, it's not. It's really not that deep. It wasn't even that big of a deal. It's just, I don't know. Look, the way I see it, and it was probably the only time. At the time, it was the only time I was actually vulnerable with someone. Where, I mean, look, granted, things happen so quickly. As soon as it started, it ended, right? But for those for however long it lasted, I could almost not pay attention to my surroundings because I was so wrapped up in what had just happened, and yeah, look, what I will say is, again, to this person, if you are watching, only you were able to do this. Only you have been able to have done this. Because, yes, there has been people after you. And
Asiraj, you can stroke this person's non-existent
and it's just...
penile, in the DMs. You don't need to be this...
this what?
I don't know, this public in your stroking.
What do you mean?
I mean, I get your...
No, because look, I also don't want I don't want the perception out there to be like, oh, this is how you are with everyone. No, this is not how I am with everyone. He knows. I've been in other situationships, if you want to call it that, where I'm completely...
Okay, Miss Pinkett Smith, we get it. You like your entanglements.
No, I don't like my entanglement.
And
No.
this one was your August. This was the one that got away. This was the entanglement you'd have liked to have been entangled in a bit longer.
Yes, but yeah, for some reason, again, if you're watching, congrats.
Yeah,
Fair play. Because trust me, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often. In fact, it never happens. But I did with you. Congrats.
For any of you beautiful Hajis and Shiahis out there, please drop us a DM. Drop this
No,
beautiful
no,
man a
no,
DM.
no.
You know, it's
Did you-
clear you can see a beautiful stallion of a man.
Did
you
you-
know, wounded,
Did you not?
hurt, touched. You know, what better time for you, beautiful woman out there,
Did you not
to
just-
lay in for the kill? You know, set your eyes on the prize. Look at this. Look at this stallion.
Did you not just
know?
hear me say how I'm going to drown myself in work? I'm not. Look, I'm not saying that from a state of from a state of, I don't know, sadness or anything. I felt my sadness, right? I'm now in the next phase where I'm like, okay, I can now
It's rise and grind.
exactly.
It's rise and
now
grind.
I've got something that I can, I've gotten all of that out of my system. Now I can go back to what really matters, right? I can go back to, I can hopefully, do something special again, and I could get that feeling back again, and not, and not from, I don't know. I lost myself there. Is there anything you want to say?
Whooped badly,
No.
boys and girls. Whooped
No,
badly.
not whooped.
Whooped.
Not whooped.
Whooped.
Not whooped.
I'm talking, when you see those period documentaries of like 14th century, 15th century America, and the massa is just giving it, he's just unloading. This man's.
Look.
He's whooped.
Look, what I will say about it, I can't explain it.
Yeah, that's called being whooped, my guy.
No,
it's called being whooped.
It's not being whooped. I'm sure you could explain your situation with freaking, you can explain that. I can't explain it. I can't.
Look, think it like this. Some things are not meant to be explained. Some things are not meant to be known. And for the most part, it's for the better. Sometimes, you're better off not knowing, just going along and just moving on. Sometimes that's enough. That's all the closure you can get. And unfortunately, that's what you gotta move forward with.
Yeah, but look, I'm like I said, guys, I am ready to let all of this stuff go. This is the final phase, okay? This is the final phase where I do address it, right? On air with you and with you. And I can, after this, I probably won't even mention it again, This is...
Listen, he's got on record. You guys can hold him accountable.
Yeah, I probably would never mention it again. Because I haven't really spoken about it to anyone. I mean, there's been moments here I've spoken to you about it, like a little bit here and there, but I've never really spoken about it. Yeah, so this was a bit of a therapy sesh, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes, we have to. We can't always be silent about certain things that is bothering us. And yeah, look, this last night or whenever it was,
Wow, so whooped, man. Sense of time is virtually non-existent at this point. Just lost it yesterday, 1 hour ago. Last year.
No, and yeah, I was sitting on Eid morning, and I realized, oh yeah, look, this was happening. Just that. But if I'm being honest with you, the more I deep it, I don't think that the person had anything to do
And
with.
it's supposedly not that deep.
If I think about it from a deeper meaning, the situation's not that deep. But if I deep it, I don't think it's necessarily the person, and that's why I'm hung up, or that's why I'm bummed. I think I was more reflecting on the way I felt at the time. Which, granted, the person helped me feeling in a much better state last year compared to this year. But it's more along the lines of, yeah, I felt good, right? I was enjoying myself. Whereas this year, I wasn't. Doesn't matter who was there and who's in the picture, who's not. It's more along the lines of how I felt and how I'm feeling, right? So, yeah. I think in conclusion, I think my mind is playing tricks on me, where I'm trying to chase a feeling more than chasing a person, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I felt good at the time. I'm not gonna lie.
In conclusion, Madonna's song "Hung Up on You." Yeah, that
I'm not
perfectly
hung up.
sums up
I
the
can't be hung
situation.
up. I can't be hung up on this person. I can't be. That's what I'm saying. This doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
You can't be, but you are. I mean, again, because you
I think no,
choose
no, no, no.
to
Listen,
not,
listen.
just
Nah.
because you choose not to validate the existence of something does not mean it's not there. I'm sure we can all agree, folks. I mean, there are people out there who believe in flat Earth. There are people out there who believe there's no gravity. There are just people out there who believe there's always people doubting things. I mean, there are people who don't believe in a creator. So again, just because you do not
No,
validate the
no, no,
existence of something
no, 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 no,
does
no,
not
no, no.
mean
I
it is not
think,
there.
I think I'm on that blue sweet settings. I'm hooked on a feeling.
Ah.
I'm hooked on a feeling. Da, 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 da. I'm hooked on a feeling. I think
Okay,
if you're being honest,
if it's the feeling, then surely it would have been a lot easier to move on. Because the feeling can be reciprocated, not reciprocated, but it can be replicated through other means of trying to cultivate happiness or enjoyment. I mean, you enjoy playing your instrument, you have other, of other women who, in your words, have exhibited similar behaviors. So, which means they should be able to, do what incited
no,
certain feelings.
but you see, that's the thing.
So then it's not just the
It
feeling.
is a feeling. Look, the thing is, I there's been moments last year where I've forgotten about her, and I've forgotten about it completely. I mean, there were certain moments where like I, I wasn't thinking about it at all. I mean, I'm not thinking about it all the time. I think the reason why it came back to me so aggressively was because last year I was feeling some type of way, and this year I'm feeling the complete opposite. And the closest thing I attach to that is her. Right? That's it.
Listen, man isn't crying, okay? His eyeballs are just moist.
Yeah, I'm not
Just
crying.
moist.
I'm not crying. Now I was busy kissing my cat, and I'm paying the price. I'm allergic to cats. So yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah,
Clearly.
so yeah, sorry.
Certified
You know what?
fumbler
I don't,
right
let me
here.
let me put on my specs. Maybe this will
Yeah,
distract it a
yes.
little bit. Anyways, so yeah, I just think I'm trying to chase a feeling. Look, nostalgia can be that way as well. You know, for an example, if you are, I mean, I think people go to high school reunions just to feel that young again, or
Hmm.
some people find certain music that makes them feel young again. It's people that's much older than us, but you know, and I think for me, it's just I could sit there, I could sit there this Eid and reflect on last Eid and say, you know what, for the first time, I could actually say, you know what, I'm enjoying myself. I think that's it. So it's not. I don't think it's not that deep, but yeah, I think I'm just chasing a feeling. Because if I was hung up on the person, I wouldn't be able to go and date other people, which I have
Are
done.
you dating someone else?
Not at the moment, but I mean, I did date other people last year afterwards.
Really now? Are
Yes.
we counting those people? Or is that what we're counting now?
Yes. What were
I'm
those?
sorry,
What were those?
those were clearly just
what,
those were clearly just distractions, my brother. Those were
no.
clearly just the easiest and quickest um way you could gratify that feeling, that sensation, that urge. That's all I view those women as, because I know you, and we speak a lot. And again, knowing you, no, I'm gonna have to say those were merely just a moments in time that you could use to forget about what you were feeling, that you could use to, put all those feelings about said person at the back of your mind and never have to look at them again. At least that's probably what you were thinking in that moment, for sure. But I do not view any of the people that you just spoke about in that light for you, because I know you don't. I know you don't.
I do.
No, you don't,
I
brother.
do.
You don't. There is no way you do.
I do.
No, there
I
is no way
do.
you do, brother. There's
I
no way
do.
you do.
I 1000% do. I 1000% do, because look, at the end of the day, I'm not wasting anybody's time if I decide, you know what, okay, I'm gonna go out with this person. I'm not doing.
Okay, but then again, the purpose for going out with said person is what? Is it because you genuinely enjoy their time? Is it because you genuinely want to cultivate something more meaningful, something with a bit more meat to it? Or do you just have nothing else to do and it's okay, here's something that can pass time quickly, here's something that can provide a form of instant gratification or quick releasing?
What I will say is, there's been moments where I have just looked for distractions, right? I mean, I wouldn't go further wouldn't go further into that, but there has been times. But the people I'm speaking about last year after, that wasn't just distractions. That wasn't just distractions to me. If you can maybe argue that subconsciously they were, but in terms of my intentions, they were never just distractions.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm definitely arguing for your subconscious here. You just proved it for me.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're talking about subconsciously, you might have an argument there.
No, I'm saying you could argue with my
Yes.
subconscious, because sometimes I don't know. What I'm saying is, my intentions were never ever for those people to be distractions. Never.
Okay, look, you're gonna know yourself way better than what I'm gonna know you, way better than what anyone else is gonna know you. So nobody should be able to say what I've just said to make such assumptions of, no, this is how you feel, this is how I feel. You're gonna know better than anyone. I agree. That's just how I feel regarding what you told me. But again, could be the latter, could be different, and it is what it is if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know, brother. Don't know what else you want me to tell you regarding that, other than maybe it's good to just take a break from women in that sense for a bit. I mean, you said you completely didn't, well, not you didn't feel happy or you didn't feel a sense of enjoyment. It's just that it's clear that you put a lot of emphasis on having somebody else fulfill that intrinsic role that should be given to yourself, where you are essentially responsible for for how you feel and how you're going to go about.
Can I just
No,
interject?
go for it.
When I speak about this is completely and solely in this realm, right? In the realm of intimacy and relationships. There are thousands of other things that I have on my mind constantly, all the time, right? Like my music, like my football, like my gaming, right? So, yes, there's been times where I don't think about this crap. There are times where I'm not thinking about women in general, right? So it was never ever a case of, oh, she must validate my feelings or she must make me feel. No, that has never been the case. This is just in this context of, dating and relationships. She was the one.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, then, when I say, I'm going to now change what I was about to say, when I say now take a break, maybe from something serious, but still have your friends, still have your interactions, because come on guys, we're only human. It's normal to have interactions with other people, whether it be same sex or the opposite sex. Interaction is good and it's healthy for you. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that.
Look, and the thing is, and what I will say is, with her, I felt like, okay, here's someone, right? I mean, I think we have been, for the year before that, we've been in and around the same circle where we have been spending time with similar women, and And as much as as much as they were great, but I didn't feel for them. I didn't feel any type of way about them. I didn't, I didn't want to feel any type of way about them. Whether it was okay, I can.
You know what? I didn't want to go down this route because, again, who am I to now validate or invalidate the feelings of another? Especially regarding this type of topic, because I'm of the belief that it's not always the amount of time, it's the quality of the time.
Yeah.
If it's the right person, if it's not, that's gonna definitely affect the growth of the relationship. So on that note, you didn't know her that long.
No, I
So
didn't.
for you to, again, I'm not saying you can't be feeling as intensively,
But that's what
or
I'm saying.
the
None of
feelings
this makes
shouldn't be
sense.
validated.
None
I'm
of
just
this
saying
makes
that
sense.
you didn't even get to know her
That's what I'm
that
saying.
well.
This crap don't make sense to me.
Favorite color, dream job, this, that. Like, it's, again, and like, that shouldn't be reasons to why you can't feel what you're feeling. I mean, that's just the thing about feelings. Sometimes you can explain them, sometimes you
Yeah.
can't, but you feel them, so they are there. And it doesn't mean that just because now there wasn't enough groundwork laid there, that there wasn't enough time spent, that whatever you felt was potentially there is invalidated. No, of course not. Again, like I just said, it's different for everyone. I just want to say, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I wanted to say. I'm
Look,
sorry, guys. I'm waffling a bit here.
Again, man,
This is quite a touchy subject.
at the end of the day, it was a time in my life where I let my guard down. It was a time in my life where it was a time in my life where I decided, okay, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to let this person in. Right? And and again, it was a time in my life where look, everything was great, man. It wasn't just that. It was, look, the thing is, I'll just say this now. In terms of my career, that has never ever taken a slump. I mean, granted, I've only been doing this crap now for a year, but it has never taken a slump throughout last year. In fact, when that thing has ended, things just picked up for me, right? So, go figure. But it's just at that point, it's just everything was great. I probably would then just assume, oh, okay, it's just I probably just wanna be in a sense where everything else is great because, you know, shocker, not everything is great at the moment. There are certain aspects of my life that I like, and there's certain aspects of my life that I think needs to be worked on, right? And I just think that at that point, everything was great, and everything was new, and everything was exciting, and that's why I say I think now I'm just, or at least last Eid when I was reflecting, I'm just reflecting on that version of me that was, that was feeling some type of way about his life.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a correlation you can make between now Siraj and previous Eid's Siraj, and that is what you're going through. It's all based around on how you feel.
Yeah.
So, I think, brother, this is just one of those moments. I'm always gonna say, feel what you have to feel. Especially as a guy, I feel that men are always told that they shouldn't show their feelings, they shouldn't show their emotions because it's a sign of weakness, and such nonsense, which is obviously not true. I mean, we're still just human as well. Yeah. It's going to affect anybody, no matter how strong, quote unquote, you're going to think you are. But I think the best thing you can do is not allow yourself to feel too much. You feel what you have to feel, but you kind of you give yourself a set amount of time to feel what you have to feel, and then from there, you decide, okay, now I can turn the feeling receptors a bit lower and just do what you got to do, because that's what we as men got to do sometimes. Just do what you got to do.
What I will say is, The fact that I've been able to stay quiet about this for a very long time clearly shows that this isn't something that's going to affect me deeply, right? This is just something.
The sass.
No, but no, what I will say is this is just something that I wanted to get off my chest at the moment. This isn't something that is overly consuming me 24/7. This isn't something that what there's been times where it has taken a toll on me, and that was right when it happened last year. But after that, things have went back to normal. It's just like I say, in retrospect, there's sometimes you want to chase certain feelings, right? Like for an example, you know, um, I often think about when I was 9 years old and Jeff Hardy was on top of his game, and I kept on saying, "How?"
Can we just take a split second to admire the Jeff Hardy pants?
Of course,
Admire the Jeff Hardy
course.
pants, boys and girls. That's real swag right there.
but
But
yeah,
as you were saying, Tom
yeah.
Half
And
Price Queen.
I remember telling myself, yeah, he should come back. It would be great to see him again. And he came back, and it wasn't great, right? But did I care at the fact that it wasn't great? No, I heard his theme song. I seen him do
But
his
that's
dance.
that's the nostalgia.
I seen him do the dance, and all of a sudden I felt like 9-year-old me again, who still had, you know, who could believe in the freaking Loch Ness monster and all that jazz. I felt like that again, right? And I think this is just a similar thing, right? So yeah, I look at the end of the day, it's not deep. It's not that deep. It's just what has happened. We just overanalyzed a situation. We overanalyzed why I was feeling bummed out on Eid. That was it. But what I will say was, by the time I fell asleep, I was chilled. I was something that hit me in the early morning straight after mosque, and yeah, and by the time I left you guys, I was cool. I was chilled. So again, not that deep. Just something I needed to get off my chest.
How does your chest feel? Is it a bit lighter? Do you feel like you are a bit more spring in your step?
Look, okay, what I will say is the reason I started, the main reason why I wanted to do this podcast in the first place was would allow not only audience members that are yet to come and audience members that are there. Thank you guys for watching.
Appreciate you.
But it is to allow people to get to know a different side of me, other than the guy who was just doing song of the week. I don't even think I have any of those audience that I used to do that. I should probably bring that series back. But anyways, the reason why I started this was, look, this is gonna sound grim, but one of the best ways to market yourself as a musician is to show people who you are, whether it be on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, or I said Instagram twice, or YouTube. What I meant to say was, and I thought that this would probably be the better platform, or the best platform for me to, showcase this is who I am, right? When I am not playing guitar, this is my views on certain things, and sorry to cut you off. And I also think it is important, like that's never, so we might as well say that. I also think it's very important for us to have this, to almost journal our growth as we go on, as we get on in age. At some point, we're gonna look back at this and we're gonna realize, oh flip, I said this, I said that. What I will say is to slightly just detour away from all of that. One of my proudest moments, before just now, I learned the guitar lick that I never thought I'd be able to play. Obviously,
That's growth right there.
obviously I'm gonna brag about that at some point.
Look
But-
at that sparkle in his eyes, boys and girls. Oh, that is such a wholesome moment.
But one of my proudest moments, as not as a musician but as a person, is listening to, first watching the reaction to the Ariana Grande video, which I put in the description. I was saying in that video that it's not that harsh. I lied. It was harsh. It was extremely harsh, right? One of my most proudest moments is going from that and then listening to myself now. That was an 18-year-old boy. And you are now listening to somebody who's 23, who's going to be 24 in October, right? And being able to have seen that growth, not just to think about it, but to see it in front of you. There's no better feeling than that, really. So yeah, look. So to come back to this point, the reason why I'm bringing this up and the reason why I'm so public about it is because I've always wanted to be real on this on my channel. I mean, granted, this is the last podcast that we're gonna have on this channel. We'll be moving to an exclusive channel. A link to that will be in the description. But I've always wanted to be real. I've always wanted to be 100%, and that's always how I felt that I've conducted myself with you guys and with anybody else who I'm out in the public with. I've always felt that I've been 100%, right? Well, I'd say I've been 65% because this has been something that I've been keeping quiet about for a very long time. I just don't want. I just don't want to be a hypocrite. I want to be real. That's it.
Yeah, transparency is very important,
Yeah.
especially when you have an audience, when you're trying to reach an audience. I think that's the nice thing of, starting this podcast before you've blown up, before you've truly taken off with things.
We've blown up.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
We've.
Because it's. You were talking about how, as a musician or someone in your particular field, it's important to be authentic, to showcase your true self. How many musicians can we truly say are their authentic self or showcase their authentic self? Because, remember when you get to a certain size, you become property to a label.
Exactly.
In most cases, they give you a personality, they give you a dress code. This is who you are. This is what you gotta follow. And then do you really even have a real case of self anymore? Or at least one you can show. So I think the nice thing is you can actually show people a very genuine perspective of who you actually are.
Yeah.
Currently.
Look,
it's a beautiful man.
well, thank you. What I will say is,
Ice devouring sex tornado.
what I will say is, I think, like, for an example, if you listen to guys like, you listen to the Beatles, you listen to Michael Jackson, even Prince, you can, and you know what, I'm going to say, no, that's a different thing. But we'll touch on that.
I'm telling you, guys, the Dalai Lama has had a profound effect on my boy over here. He wants to touch on everything.
No.
He just wants to touch on everything.
No. What I was going to say was, because in music, right, you could hear Michael Jackson's personality shine straight through his music. You hear a certain drum beat. Nobody has to sing, that's Michael Jackson. That's Michael. Same thing can be said about the Beatles, about Prince. Right? And look, ultimately, I like speaking in front of a camera. I like having conversations with you, and this was something that we've been speaking about for years before we actually started, that we should do this because sometimes our conversations can be an interesting listen, right? I think the main reason that we are both doing this is it's to help elevate us in our separate fields that we are in. I would like to believe that's the business reason that we're doing this, right? It's to help further myself. It's to bring more notoriety to who we are. Because look, if you look at someone like Andrew Tate, I know I've mentioned him a lot, but he could release a song tomorrow, which he has, right? And people will listen to it, right? Despite whether it's good or bad.
Despite him clearly having no musical expertise or background,
but his name attached to it alone.
His name alone garners the viewership,
right? So I think the main reason that we've started this podcast, because look, the thing is, we could have conversations over the phone, we could have conversations behind this camera, but the reason why we're doing this is to give ourselves more notoriety, is to get ourselves out there. This is the one time that both of us are putting ourselves out there on the internet or whatever. And when I'm writing, I would like to believe that my personality comes through my songs as well. I would like to be able to be that type of person where you can hear, nope, that's, I don't know what I'm going to.
That chord progression, that strum of the string, whatever it may be.
That's glorified square or whatever, right? So, yeah, I forgot where I was going with this, but I think yeah. To conclude about Eid and all of those things. Yeah, I want to be a bit different this time than last, and I want to be 100%. I want to be 100% real, and yeah, and you know what, my other problem as well, before this, and the reason why I burnt out on making those reaction videos was because, yes, when I'm headbanging to as not as I am, what did I react to? Honor thy father. When I'm reacting to that and I'm headbanging, I genuinely am enjoying it. When I'm listening to freaking Veil, or when I'm listening to Arriving Somewhere But Not Yet, I'm genuinely enjoying that. But that's not me all the time, right? I mean, this. I'm not always speaking about music, and I got burnt out doing that crap because and I didn't want to be known as the reaction guy on YouTube that listens to prog all day long. I mean, granted, those are the videos that actually did well on this channel, but I think now that we've got this, and this will be going on. Well, not this. This will be, but going forward, we will now be putting this on a different channel. I now feel more at peace with doing reaction videos because now I'm out there playing shows majority of my weekends. Once a week we've got a podcast that we make. So why not do the reactions? Because look, there is other footage of me online now. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think you have done a grave issue to our viewers, not reacting to the wondrous talents of, Nickelback, for example, I mean, how would you not want to look at those photographs?
What I will say is,
why would you not, want to showcase them who is reminding you of who you really are,
what I will say is, as you get older,
you realize Nickelback's not that bad.
Yes, you realize
said it.
you realize Nickelback's not that bad, right? They're not that bad, guys. Like, listen to the crap without the bias ear, right? I mean, firstly, I don't know where this obsession to hate Nickelback originally came from. Okay, you know what? I lie. I know that there's certain things that happened between the lead vocalist and Corey Taylor. I know all of that. Well, I don't know all of it, but I know that something has happened.
That there was a beef.
Yeah, and then
there was a beef and stew combo in the mix.
And apparently he comes across as a frat lord. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
Well, look, if that is the case, then okay, I get it. But like, the songs aren't bad.
Look at the photograph, man.
The songs aren't bad, guys. It's not bad. Look, is it? It's not Porcupine Tree, right? But then again, there's not much that is Porcupine Tree.
Listen, Porcupine Tree is not "This Is How You Remind Me," okay? Let me just say that.
Like,
okay?
Like, you know what it is, man? It's elite McDonald's. That's what it is. It's elite McDonald's. It's the McDonald's. Okay, in South Africa, I don't know if it is the same way in the States or anywhere else, but here in South Africa, if you have a McDonald's in a better area, and I can say this because I don't stay in a good area, right? But if you have a McDonald's in a better area, for an example, like Greenpoint, compared to the one down the road by me, you taste the quality of the difference. Now, Nickelback would be Greenpoint McDonald's. You know what I mean?
There's a bit something special in that.
And then Low Pump would be the McDonald's down the road. Speaking of Low Pump, actually, I actually have a video idea that I want to do very soon regarding Low Pump.
Gucci gang.
Yeah. So yeah, stay
tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, stick around. stay tuned for that. That's gonna be something. Okay, we can now segue. So look, obviously, when it comes to me, I think the letter G is very important to me.
The letter G is important to a lot of guys, I'm sure.
Yes, it's glorified square. Girls.
Yeah.
Guitars.
Ooh. Gargoyles.
God of
I don't know
War.
where that came from.
But the biggest and most important G, not the top one, but gaming. Have you seen the freaking gameplay for Unrecorded?
Unrecorded.
Yes.
What's that?
It's do you have your phone?
No.
Is it not on you?
What is it?
It's a PC game about a police officer. You have to see it. Flip, I don't have my phone on me.
Are you talking about the? Is it not that first-person shooter?
Yes.
That's shot from like a
Body cam.
like a body cam perspective. Oh, I saw that.
There is no
Ooh,
way.
the graphics.
There is no way that's real. I saw that. I was like, no. I looked at the first shot. I was like, no, this is not a game. It can't be. But then when the NPC dies and the NPC falls over and you see the movement, you're like, flip. This is a game.
I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. For those of you who haven't, I'm sure my brother over here is going to put up a link. I don't know what.
I'll
just check it out for yourselves.
I'll probably give you like 3
extremely-
seconds of it. So yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, it's extremely well done. I think, at least from the perspective of graphics.
Yes.
Again,
It's
what?
insane. It is insane. Like, where was it? When he jumps over the ledge, I genuinely thought, okay, wait, this is some guy who just shot this.
It was fluid as hell, eh?
Yeah, and you know what it looked like? You remember that scene in Meet the Spartans when Leonidas all of a sudden becomes a GTA game.
Oh, yes.
That's what that's what it looked like, a man simulating a video game. Or like, you've seen these videos on Facebook. I think Jake Paul even did something very similar where it's like, oh, GTA in real life, and then it does the movement. That's what I thought it was. But then there's certain times, again, like there's certain moments when you look at it, you're like, flip, this is a game. Now, if that's the standard, can I just, because I never had a chance to speak about this. Can I just send Square Enix? Can I put Square Enix on blast? What the flop are you guys doing with Final Fantasy 16? What the hell? That crap looked like PS3 graphics. What the? I'm not a graphics hoe, right? I'm not. I'll let certain things slide in for the love of good gameplay, right? I'll let a lot of things slide. For an example, if we're being objective, the hair physics in God of War Ragnarok not that great.
Granted, Kratos doesn't have any hair, so why would you put that much effort into a mechanic where your main character doesn't have hair?
Yeah, but I mean,
I see.
I mean, if you look at Freya, Sif, Thrud, Thor, hair physics not that great, right? Whereas if you compare it to something like FIFA, I'm sorry, FIFA 23, the hair physics is immaculate. If watch Grealish. Play with Grealish, watch Grealish when he runs. That crap is magnificent. Even Ellison. Like, I mean, and they have Ellison's new hair, short hair. Even that hair physics is perfect, right? But even that is nowhere near to the crap that I saw on that unrecorded gameplay. If that is the standard, what the flip?
It's for PC, right?
It's a piece, but it's used. I think it's Unreal Engine 5, which. The Matrix game, the Matrix demo for PS5 is Unreal Engine. You look at that crap, brilliant, right? And then there was that demo which never ever got released. I think it was just a demo to showcase Unreal Engine 5 on Unreal Engine 5 on PS5. Then there's that new game as well, which I don't think looks as good, but it looks pretty good. It's very similar to Cyberpunk. But I think it's a PS5. I think it's a PS5 exclusive. Yeah.
Hey, listen, Sony and the exclusives, eh? Oof.
Yes.
Oof.
Yes.
Absolutely breathtaking.
Insomniac. This is gonna go on my Instagram. Insomniac, please, I can't anymore.
Let the sucking begin.
Please, Insomniac, please. All I'm asking that, Insomniac, please. I mean,
he's willing to suck toes, okay?
Insomniac.
Whichever executive, producer, whoever needs to hear this, my man's over here.
Insomniac.
He's got that look in his eye.
Insomniac. You heard how heartbroken I was just a couple of minutes ago. All I'm asking for is some Spider-Man 2 gameplay. That's all I want. Some Spider-Man 2 gameplay. Just give me a screenshot, a new screenshot that I can be hyped about for the next couple of months. Just give me a screenshot.
You know what? I like the route they're taking because at this point, there's not much to hype you up about. So again, you're kind of left in the dark. So when they do decide to drop that trailer, when they do decide to drop that
can't deal with
screenshot,
it.
you're gonna be completely shaken.
I know. I know my mind's gonna be blown. I know it.
There we go.
It's basic thugonomics. I know that this crap is gonna happen, but
It doesn't make you want it any less.
I know. I'm desperate. I'm desperate for something. Like, this is kind of my fault because I remember playing Ragnarok, starting Ragnarok. I started Ragnarok in November last year when it came out. And because I was obsessed, I finished the game in 2 weeks. And ever
That's
since
just
then,
main storyline. He's not a completionist like myself. He doesn't run through the berserkers the way
please.
your boy does.
I didn't get all of them. I got some of the berserkers. I got some of the berserkers, right? But after I finished that game, I was like, okay, now I need Spider-Man content, and that was in December. No, that wasn't in December. That was in November. I needed Spider-Man content, and I didn't get Spider-Man content. I still didn't get Spider-Man content. I was under the impression that by January we are gonna get something, and we got absolutely freaking nothing. It's like this. They didn't even give me the price or the pre-order. They just put the game on the store that you can add on your wish list, and I was hyped. My feet were shaking. I was going, "Ee!" So, guys, I need something.
Man's is down bad, eh?
I need
Man's
something.
is down bad.
I need something. You know what? If I got Spider-Man 2 on Eid, probably would have had an amazing Eid.
Oh, definitely.
Nobody would have seen me, but I would have had an amazing Eid. Although I do, speaking of Spider-Man, I do think that game is going to be released in September.
That's your prediction for release date?
September. Late September.
Okay, cool.
I hope it is late September because my birthday is in October. So
Ooh, that would probably be the most sumptuous gift you could imagine.
I hope that nothing is taking my time on that day, because it very likely can be.
In what regard?
In any regard, something comes up. I don't know, a gig or something, and then I can't play Spider-Man. No. Flip, no.
End of the world, guys. Am I right? Can't
No.
play Spider-Man. Ooh, but listen, those web swingy physics, creme de la creme.
Exactly.
Literally, one of my favorite pastimes about that game is the fact that you can just swing around town, and that'll be it. That is so satisfying within that game. The way they got the physics, the swinging, everything down, enjoyable,
Yes.
immaculate. 10 out of 10.
10 out of freaking 10.
We definitely recommend.
Okay. I want to touch on a bit of a more serious topic. It's just something that we touched on in the last podcast, but obviously.
Not a touching happening, eh?
Okay, fine. I would like to speak about a subject. Jeez. What do you think about that boy Chris Tyson? What is your stance on that?
Chris Tyson?
The Mr. Beast guy.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. The Mr. Beast personality.
No wonder.
Yeah.
There is no guy Chris Tyson anymore,
Well, apparently, I think he still goes by that pronouns. So,
I don't have any prior opinion on the matter. If it by is cool by in itchy space, then hey.
what do you think about the reaction to it online?
What was the reaction to it online? I didn't necessarily
people are
give much attention to the
people are reaching about Jimmy Mr. Beast's reaction about all of it over reading the rooms, which is like,
listen, I think that's going to be the case whenever there's a prerogative being pushed.
Yeah.
I always go by not the rule, but I always believe that, people see what they want to see. If you're looking for controversy, if you're looking to see something out of the ordinary, you're more likely to see it. So I think maybe people are just reaching. Again, I
Yeah.
didn't do much of a deep dive into said case myself, so I don't think I can formulate an
Look,
actual opinion on it. So yeah, what's your take on it,
I,
Kyle?
I don't I don't have I don't have any I don't have anything to say about the matter. To be honest, I just think it's a little bit effed up, the reaction that he is, or that they are getting on social media. Because look, it's not like, do you remember when freaking when the Little Mermaid got released, and you had like majority of you had a majority. Yeah, majority of it was positive because you had a lot of black girls looking at Ariel, getting all excited. Ah, that's me, and it's like me or whatever. And at that point, like, despite the way you feel about race swapping, when you see clips like that, for me at least, I just said, you know what, this movie wasn't for me in the first place. This movie is for them, and the fact that they can find some type of enjoyment out of it, go on. I wasn't gonna watch this movie either way, right? I do I do think that there's something. I don't necessarily like race swapping, but I think that's with everyone. There's certain times when it works. For example, I don't think any of us are complaining about Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Nobody complained.
No,
No
no,
one
not at all.
complained. No one
Not at all.
complained, right? So yeah, I don't like race swapping, but I understand sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sorry
No,
to
no,
cut
no.
you
Go
off.
for it. Go for it.
Right. What I was gonna say was, when that got released, majority of the reaction was positive because the movie, believe it or not, you freaking gym bros, that movie is aimed for freaking young girls, and young girls were reacted to that from a positive nature. Then you had the silent minority, oh sorry, the loud minority. That's what I mean to say. You had the loud minority who was busy doing certain things like using deep fake or AI to change her from, like, to make her the white girl that's more representative to the movie. And for me, I was like, that's stupid, that's corny, right? With this situation, it's majority of the majority of the stuff that you see online is more along those lines of, freaking, of this just negative outrage. Like, my thing is, and I've always been this way, right? When it comes to certain decisions that are made, I more often than not am only looking at the decisions that I make. I don't care about anybody else. I obviously care about people in a more empathic way. For an example, are you fine? Are you fed? Are you fully clothed? Can I help you in that way? But with certain decisions that you make, doesn't like, I'm not gonna get in your way, but by any means. For an example, I'm not saying you're gonna do this, but if you decide to, I don't know, if you decide to gender swap, don't laugh. Okay, fine. If you decided to, I don't know, become atheist, right? I'm not gonna stand in your way, and I'm not gonna judge you for it. That is your life. You make those decisions. As long as you're not gonna come to me and tell me I'm gonna go kill people now, then I was like, okay, okay, slow down there, cowboy. But other than that, right? And I just think that more people look. The thing is, Chris Tyson, right? Some people found him funny, some people didn't. If you're still getting that personality, he just has a different skin on now, like, Fortnite. If he's still fight, if they are still entertaining,
Oh, man's went into custom settings.
yeah. If they're still entertaining, then why are you hating? Then why are you hating? Just, like, relax, calm down. But again, I don't want to hear you sending Sam Smith any scrutiny. I don't want to hear you sending Nicki Minaj any scrutiny, because believe it or not, guess what, guys? They are not responsible for your children, right? I mean, okay, look, granted, to be fair, I grew up on Slipknot when I was younger. I was listening to Slipknot. I was listening to Metallica. That's probably why I'm such a freaking dingus right now. But that's not their responsibility. I mean, yeah, freaking, what's that? Cocomelon is on for a reason. Introduce Cocomelon to children. Oh, better yet, introduce your children to freaking classical jazz, some old school rock. Get them into that good music, right? Not this trash. Out, not trash. not pop trash, but you know what I mean. You know what I
We
mean.
almost saw 2018 Siraj
You,
come
yeah,
out there.
you almost slipped out of all of a sudden. Anyways, yeah, but, there's ways to go about it. I just think, look, okay, what I will say is I've realized where I'm potentially wrong with Jeffrey Marsh as I was busy speaking, because again, Jeffrey Marsh is going to schools, and if you want to protect your children from that, you can't do that while you are at work and he's there. I understand that, but for Sam Smith, for Lil Nas X, for Andrew Tate, nah, because believe it or not, Sam Smith is to the right what Andrew Tate is to the left. They are the same thing. They are literally the same thing. So yeah, fathers red pill fathers wouldn't want their children watching Sam Smith, and blue pill fathers wouldn't want their children watching Andrew Tate. It's the same thing. You are in control of that. Just say, son, no. You know what I mean? Well, don't hit him, but you know what I mean. Like, no, son, stop. Right? Yeah. Anyways, on to our final topic, the football.
The football. We
So
finally
I
got
will.
into
I'm
it.
considering. I feel like I've spoken bulk of the time in this. So I'm gonna let you have the floor. Liverpool.
Liverpool, what can I say other
Liverpool.
than my boys have made me eat a delicious serving of my own words? Wow, Trent in midfield, guys. Trent in midfield.
Does-
Could we see a Gerrard region? I don't know. I'm just enjoying game by game what I'm seeing. And I think it's what a lot of Liverpool fans expected. And it's what a lot of Liverpool fans have been salivating for, dreaming of, praying for, is moving Trent into midfield. His passing capabilities and his all-around just sense on the ball in that space, it's proved to be invaluable. I mean, if you look at the last two games Liverpool have played, the utter destruction of Leeds, that absolute humdinger against Nottingham Forest. Can I just say, appreciation to Nico Williams. I don't know if you watched that game. Mans has transformed himself into quite a player. I mean, he has so much energy. He's like three or four players on the pitch in one. That's how much energy this man has exhibited, at least in that game in particular. And through a lot of other of Nottingham Forest's exchanges. I mean, he scores goals, he defends, he assists as a wing back. I mean, granted, that's probably not technically what he actually plays on the pitch, because he's all over. But I mean, gotta give him his plaudits. He was absolutely insane. Curtis Jones, Curtis Jones. Hey, the skulls Iniesta.
I've always liked him.
Okay, let me not go that far, but he showcased a lot of Iniesta-like attributes, obviously on a much lower degree. You bastards out there before you jump for my jugular.
Look, okay, what I'll say is you can play like someone without not being on the same level.
Perfectly said, brother.
You can play like someone. So continue.
He has elevated his game quite a bit. Since quite a bit in general. Since the player he first was coming into the club. His passes are looking good. I like his energy on and off the ball. I mean, man looks like a demon possessed in that midfield. The way he's always chasing for balls. He's like a hungry OnlyFans corn star, who hasn't made that bread for the month. He's hungry for those balls. He goes for it. And I admire that. It takes a big man to scoff down ball. Okay, enough of the innuendos, but regardless, Jones, absolutely brilliant.
I've always liked Jones.
I've seen a lot of positives. There's still a few things that need to clearly be sorted out. We're not a finished product. I still would like to see Liverpool bring in another midfielder or two and another defender maybe. But Trent in midfield is a 100% yes. That is what I would like to think Liverpool fans can collectively be on the same page and agree that that's what we all would like to see. And somebody like Jones, a young player, who's showcasing more hunger, showcasing more technical capabilities, and showing a more refined talent. I think he can cement himself in that squad. And then whether it's a Bellingham, whoever, I don't even think he's needed at this point.
Can I predict who your next signing is?
Go for it, brother.
Dumfries.
I see in a lot of the news sources that is the talk of the town.
Is it?
I've not a lot of news sources, let me not lie, but I have seen it being thrown around on the social medias. Dumfries is one. I saw Gravenbach from Bayern as well. Those are just a few names. Honestly, again, I think some young blood would be absolutely lovely in revitalizing that squad. It would give the remaining old guard there a lot more fire under the belly, just to ignite them, and so that they can give more themselves as well. But yeah, again, overall from a Liverpool standpoint, two very lovely games. I know in that Nottingham Forest game as well, it was a bit more tit for tat, where we conceded a bit more. But again, if you watch the game, the football Liverpool played, we completely ran those boys that first half. Their goalkeeper plus Nico Williams saved them a multitude of times. Goal line clearance, couple of good saves as well. Again, could have been a cricket scoreline, have had everything have gone in, but of course that's not football. Regardless, beautiful game, lovely result. I'm loving the Liverpool I see, making me eat my words, but I gladly would do that to see my boys play like they have. Makes me happy.
What I will say is, the reason why I say Dumfries, right, is because Dumfries, the last I heard about Dumfries was Dumfries saying he wants to come to United, right?
Listen, that's how you immediately know he's going to Liverpool.
Yes, because
that's how you know.
But the other thing what happened is, just to segue to us, Wan-Bissaka had what a game. Have you seen that old man?
There was more moaning than words in that sentence, so I'm sure you can imagine.
No, have you seen that old man? Oh, that right back, he wins the ball so much. Have you not seen that guy?
No.
Who reacted to Wan-Bissaka? That's how I feel. I feel emotional thinking about Wan-Bissaka. And apparently now, while Delo is already signed, he is now going to get a new deal.
Lovely, but let's.
So that means we have two right backs, one defensive, one attacking. There is no space for Dumfries. Dumfries wants a Premier League move, and United was the only team that was interested. He then said he wants to move. Now Liverpool's interested. Liverpool's gonna move Trent.
That's the cope on
Dumfries is probably a good signing
with the situation. Dumfries is always a Liverpool boy, man. He's just using United to get Liverpool.
Dumfries will probably be a good move. Funny enough, the last time I was on here, United has played 3 games.
The Sevilla game, the Brighton game. You're not just talking about Premier, you're talking about overall, right? Because you guys played Brighton in the FA Cup. You played Sevilla.
We didn't address the 2-2. We didn't speak about that.
2-2 again.
Sevilla. They've played 4 games. That just shows you how much football United plays. We missed out on a week of podcasting.
Listen,
how many games did you play? 2?
2, I think.
Yeah, we played 4.
Wow. So what? Welcome to football. How many games did Pep Guardiola play?
We played 4.
Listen, the longer you are in your respective competitions, the more games you're gonna have to play. It's something you're gonna have to just put up with. It's one of the cons now of making it as far into your respective seasons. I saw Ancelotti complained as well about Madrid's scheduling. Guess what? Klopp did that as well. And what did you Jamokes do? Yeah, man's moaned.
That's not
moaning.
That's not the stuff that we. No, that's not the stuff that we made fun of. Klopp once listen.
Bunch of moaners.
I can't keep that in. Klopp once said the reason why he's lost the game was because the other team had too many injuries. That's what we made fun of.
If we are going to nitpick, there's something we can find in every coach's speech. Again, the media, they like to obscure facts or quotes because they know what gets them clicks. That's controversy.
What I will say is, Coming back to
Sevilla, the Europa League, Real Madrid, probably gonna win it.
Yeah.
Probably gonna win it.
probably gonna win it. I had a bad feeling going into it already, but then we went 2 goals up, and I was like, great, this is freaking awesome.
And then Harry Maguire plays the
No.
Liverpool team.
The biggest nightmare happens. We lose 2 of our centre backs. We lose Varane and Martinez.
Oh, you're talking about the first game. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
We lose Varane and Martinez. Look, Martinez was potentially for like freaking 6 months, but it's 6 weeks. So great, right? Varane will be back in time for the final. I'm sorry. Look here. Listen.
City 4-1.
Listen. I don't care.
City 4-1.
I don't care. Can I just say this? This was a team that bottled semi-finals. I'm not grading my team the same way you are grading Liverpool.
No, you can't. 2 different seasons.
No. Despite Liverpool's current season in United, you guys are grading Liverpool on a much higher standard than we are grading United. This is Klopp in his 7th run of the 7th season. Yeah, 7th season.
I think it's 7.
Coming off of a quadruple challenge last year. Getting to how much cup finals? 3? 4?
Champions League final. I think we can't. Did we win the Carabao Cup? No.
Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and
Cup.
the Bangkok. I'm joking.
Prestigious.
Prestigious. Right. So you guys are looking at Klopp through that lens. Listen, this was a guy and this was a team that got us this close. We are looking at Ten Hag as, look at you. Yes, we know your quality, but you are new to the Premier League. You are coming in. We don't know what you're gonna. We don't. Look, there's going to be a couple of hits, but there's going to be a couple of misses, right? We have now got into 2 cup finals. 2 cup finals. And again, just to flatten that whole Rashford Salah debate. Nobody was ever comparing Rashford to Mo Salah. We were all saying
Some of you were.
no, none of us were.
you were.
Some of us were saying that Rashford is in the form of his life, which he is. Not because
100%.
Not because of the amount of goals that he scored, because Liverpool fans are bringing up this graphic. Oh, look. No, you dumbass. We were looking at the way he's playing. I said this in the last podcast, but it's not going to get uploaded. The way that Rashford is playing, his movement, the type of goals that he's scoring, that's what is making us say, nah, this is one of the best players of the season. Not because he's scoring 50 goals like Haaland is freaking doing. And then, not you, right? But then I'll add another layer to it. What if we win the FA Cup? Right? Could we then say that your team last year is on the same? Is our team is equal to your team? No, we can't. But we won the same cups. No, it doesn't matter. Top 4 doesn't matter.
Context applies differently because it's a different league.
Context applies differently, 100%. That's all I'm trying to say. So yes, while Salah did have an average season to his standards,
it was
right?
still a very good season.
And Rashford was having a very good season to Rashford's standards. What I'm saying is next year, let's see.
Yeah, 100%.
Next year, let's see. Can Rashford be in the discussion? Can Rashford be in the debate? Right? That's what I'm saying. I believe he can because of his natural talent on the ball. But we'll see when that happens. I'm just tired of this graphic. Oh, look, 14 goals for Salah, 15 goals for Rashford. I don't care. Did Rashford have a good season this season? Yes.
100%.
Yes. Look, on paper, Salah had a good season.
You could.
But to Salah's standards, look, sorry.
Go for it.
I don't know if you're gonna agree with me, but to me, I put Salah up there with Rashford. Sorry, that was a mistake. Sorry, I put Salah up there with Rooney, Aguero, the Premier League greats.
Yeah, same.
The Premier League greats.
You'd have to. With what he's done, you'd have to.
Look, not only because of the amount of goals that he scored, but because of who he was up against. He was up against Pep and City with the amount of money that they've got. Klopp and Salah were up against that, right? And he has been one of the most consistent. Look, Aubameyang has come and went, right? Like a threat. Like a threat. Yeah, came and went.
Yeah.
Right?
Harry Kane, I mean, sure. Okay, look, let's be real. Kane still does what he does.
Yeah.
He'll break the individual record now and then, but I think he's dropped off quite a bit. I mean, let's sorry. No. But I think we should segue into, so the fact that it's clearly evident that Newcastle's owners are, Islamic.
Yeah.
Because they had a banquet.
Yeah.
They had an absolute banquet. They feasted on the remains of Tottenham Hotspur, so much so that you as a supporter cannot even call your club a club. That was not a club.
Shoot, like,
What? Look, I have no words. I mean, all I want to say is this. The more I watch football, the more I am grateful that I never invested stocks into Tottenham. That's all I'm going to say. I am grateful that I chose to be a Liverpool fan and that I will die a Liverpool fan.
yeah.
But I mean, can you imagine defending Tottenham? Can you
There's-
imagine that?
There's no defeat. Look,
That was pathetic.
Like-
but okay, Marv, let's give credit to Newcastle. Newcastle have been absolutely spectacular all season.
Altaf, I'll give you that, but Newcastle's not battering Liverpool 6-1. Newcastle's not okay. Newcastle beat United, but they played us 3 times this season and they won 1 game. Right? Newcastle's not beating Arsenal like that. They're not beating City like that.
I would argue that they don't even beat Chelsea.
They don't even beat Chelsea
and
like
Chelsea is ridiculously
that.
crap right now.
Chelsea is the biggest joke. Oh, but the thing is,
Spurs always find a way to make themselves the bigger joke.
you know, I'm hooked on Brooklyn Nine-Nine at the moment.
I see so.
Andy
Chelsea Sandberg.
Chelsea and Tottenham is literally Hitchcock and Sully. They are literally Hitchcock and Sully. That's who they are.
Have you seen the episode where Hitchcock and Sally are young?
No.
You need to see that.
No,
need to see that.
They
Oh, my
are
goodness.
Hitchcock and Sully. The two of them are literally trying to outdumb. And it's funny because Chelsea are the rich owners, no? And well, Tottenham is Tottenham, but Chelsea is just
Chelsea have no excuse. Tottenham
Chel-
have the fact that they are Tottenham.
Yeah.
Chelsea, there shouldn't be any excuse.
Chelsea has no excuse. Look,
Bunch boys.
but then again, let's not be too harsh on Chelsea. We are speaking about a team that has just played Real Madrid. You know. Yeah. Look,
Listen, Liverpool can talk firsthand.
That's
our
a tough-
supporters can clearly say, you don't.
That's a tough result.
tough pill to
Regardless,
swallow for anyone.
regardless, that's a tough result. So I'll give you guys that. Let's see what you guys do in the Premier League.
I think just to my brother, I think just to diversify things up a bit because we are both Premier League fans, but there are other leagues as well. You know, I mean, I don't know how much you follow other leagues, but have you seen Dortmund?
No.
Dortmund looks like they're going to win the league, eh?
Oh, okay, that's good
yeah,
for them.
I mean, Bayern are in the mud. I mean, firstly, sacking Nagelsmann is probably one of the dumbest decisions of this year for football.
Definitely.
I mean, why would you do that? I
Definitely.
get Mans, at that point when they did sack him, Bayern weren't too hot in the league, but he had a 100% win rate in the Champions League.
Definitely.
And that's after facing PSG.
Yeah.
I definitely think they have a much better chance against Man City had Nagelsmann stayed. I also think that they eventually would have caught up to form in the league, and they also lost the DBF Porcal, whatever their cup is called. So again, Bayern, they're pulling a Tottenham. They're doing a father like son parallel with Arsenal, with how Arsenal seem to be slipping. I'm joking. Arsenal's not going to slip. They better not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I'm going to say this.
I don't want City to win, please.
Why the balls would I ever support City? City's my rival. Why would I ever support City? Right. In 2020, when Liverpool won the league, I was genuinely happy that was the outcome. And I can't stand Liverpool, right? But yeah, I'm sorry. I hope Arsenal wins. Yeah, look, there's a point difference now.
Yeah.
There's a point difference. That game, ooh, what day is it?
I'm not too sure. That's Arsenal's next game?
I
believe so.
I think we have
Listen,
to.
I believe, like I chatted to my brother a bit about this. Arsenal should not have kept Jesus on for as long as they did in their last match. A brilliant player, but as he showcased at City, he's not that goal scorer when you need one. I think Eddie Nketiah is a far better out-and-out striker, scorer of the ball. A lot more direct as a player in that sense. You give him some of the balls that Jesus perhaps didn't put away, he scores. I mean, if I put probably one of the hottest striking prospects in the world in that position, in Victor Osimhen, for example, probably buries it.
Yeah.
I mean, Mans is brilliant.
Yeah.
And again, giving more love to the Italian league, because I don't know if you saw, but Italy, we're going to get a Milan derby semi-final.
Yes.
That is football heritage right there, folks.
Mhm.
And I believe there are two Italian teams in the Europa League.
Yes.
Going further to the final. So again, Italy seems to be dominating Europe this season, which is weird considering they don't play the best of ball. But another player who should get plaudits, Rafael Leao.
Yeah.
Man's assist against Napoli.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. That-
Mbappe who? I'm kidding. It's not Mbappe level, but that was quite Mbappe-esque in the sense of, I mean, dropping 3 defenders off of just pace and a touch, and his touch, that was immaculate.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Whereas that's regarded, again, Bundesliga, Bayern losing, or looking as if they're going to lose the league. I mean, what sorcery is that as well? So other leagues, I would say, are quite exciting.
Yeah.
It's probably only PSG, or the French league, the Uber Eats league, that I haven't really followed much on, for good reason. I mean, who does? PSG is probably going to run away with it as per usual.
Definitely.
And I think if we're going to touch on La Liga, I think Barca sealed the deal with a 1-0 over Atletico. I think they're probably going to see the league out strong.
That's cool.
But regardless, I think next season is going to be very interesting. Just regarding where a lot of the teams look to be.
Yeah. You would imagine that Chelsea's gonna be on the up. You'd imagine, okay, City's always gonna be City. Arsenal's gonna be a threat. Newcastle's gonna be a threat.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you look at if Newcastle were to get players, poacher Rafael Leao,
Neymar,
whoever. I mean, they got the bank account. They showcased what they could do in their first season under takeover without splurging that much.
Yeah.
Realistically, they were quite. What's the term I'm looking for? They weren't what I thought they'd be. They didn't go the full money route, yet. But they're gonna be absolutely terrifying if they do.
Look, what I will say is, I remember calling Maguire cancer. Right. I do not apologize. I was 110%
Stage 4. Stage 4 pancreatic, my boy.
I can't stand. Look. Okay, look, De Gea had a howler, right? He had a howler, but it's De Gea. This is a winner for us, right? He's a club legend, and in terms of shot stopping, he's one of the best, right? If he's allowed a mistake. Obviously not in a semi-final, but he's allowed these mistakes. Maguire, who literally went on air saying, "Oh, I have nothing to prove. I'm that guy." And they play you. You are captain, club captain, and this is the type of performances that you bring out. You are trash. I hope I never ever see you wearing my jersey ever again. Please go and rot playing for freaking West Ham or Stoke. You know what? Go play for Stoke, you freaking trash. Anyways, I think, look, it's getting dark out. I think let's end it there before I lose my call. Thank you guys for watching. This will be our final podcast on this channel. On this channel, we will be moving over. We're
jumping ship.
Relocating. This channel will now go back to its original format, which was me speaking about songs, and I have a very exciting new series that I want to do.
Look at these photographs
that I would like to incorporate onto this channel, but you will still be able to find us on the new channel, which the link will be in the description. Our socials, all of that will be in the description. And yeah, with that being said, see you guys next week. We are out.
See you guys next week.
Mwah!